what's the backstory from your reporting of Brock Purdy finally landing on the number with the Niners that they landed on?
So it was around the start of OTAs, Rich, the start of the offseason program, which was mid-April. And it sounded like there were real questions of, is Brock Purdy going to be there for the start of the 49ers offseason program? Around that same time, the sides kind of had come to an understanding. As much as you can make an intellectual argument that as the top quarterback who is anywhere close to the market, Brock Purdy should be at the Dak Prescott type of number, $60 million per year, that it was realistically not going to get there. And there's a bunch of different factors involved in that in terms of the leverage points in particular. Brock Purdy was only due $5.4 million, I believe it was, in the last year of his rookie contract. And that the number was only that high because Purdy had hit a bunch of different escalators. When you're negotiating off a number like that, the 49ers can sit there going, this is a player that's never made money, because he was the last pick in the draft. He now could be on the books for 5.4 this year. We can tag him again in 2026, tag him again in 2027. You can go on that way, and you're never going to get back the money that you're losing short term by not taking the deal now. Dak Prescott was in a similar type of a situation because he was a fourth round draft pick. He ultimately decided to push it all the way, but he had to play out the last year of his contract. He had to play out a tag and get very close to a second tag that the Cowboys actually ended up applying for purposes of buying time to get the paperwork done. You got to take on a lot of different, injury risk there. There's time value of money involved. It worked out for Dak Prescott. You could argue that it worked out for Lamar Jackson too. But again, he played for like $2.3 million. Lamar did in the fourth year of his rookie contract at a time that if he had had an agent, any agent would have said, dude, you're losing so much money in the short term. You're not going to gain that back no matter what the numbers are at the end. So the 49ers got to their bottom line type of number. It was within striking distance of all those other quarterbacks that we've seen in recent years here. Then it was just a matter of working out some of the other details in the contract. It was going to be the guarantee structure. It was going to be the cash flow. And really, Rich, those are the important things. I think that sometimes we get caught up in the average per year, right? Because that's Dak Prescott's at 60, and people say, Josh Allen is at 55. Josh Allen, if you're doing new money average comparisons, is at 100. There's no way to apples these because everybody are in different types of positions. With Brock Purdy, because he was only due 5.4 this year, it's hard to shift enough money up to make the numbers look right. But when I say that it's a cash flow system, it is a cash flow league. In other words, the sooner you can start the clock to get into your next extension, the better off you are. Lamar Jackson still has multiple years left on his deal. If he had signed going into year 4, he'd already have a new deal. He'd already be at the end of the extension that he signed with the Ravens. So it made sense, even though it's not the top of market deal, for Brock Purdy to go, okay, we are locking this in. We're removing the injury risk. It's $181 million in total guarantees. It's more money than Jared Goff got over, I believe, the first 3 new years on the contract here. For the 49ers, they can go, if you include the last year of the rookie deal, it's really a $45 million average over 6 years at a time that the salary cap is going close to 300. This gives the 49ers cost certainty. They could have played the hard road here with Brock Purdy. They went the opposite direction. They publicly said, this is our guy. We're going to pay him. He's going to be here long term. Now this allows you to go on average over 6 years here. We got him at $45 million per year. That allows us to budget, pay other guys, pay Fred Warner. They'd already paid Kittle, revamp things around Brock Purdy. And for Purdy, it's a $53 million new money average, which is what matters when you're comparing these deals. It's a very fair deal for both sides of this, and one that leads to the conclusion that everybody wanted, which is Brock Purdy being the 49ers quarterback for years to come.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.